It's Roshni here. Roshni. This is my first time sharing my inked reflections this way, you know, with the face, the voice, all of it. And out of all the prompts, Cancer, right? Felt like the most toughest place to begin. But maybe that's exactly why I had to.
It's time to take out the sketching essentials, pencils, eraser, sharpener. The ink pens will come out later. Using a ruler to set boundaries, which will help me keep my sketch proportions in check. I just grabbed the nearest item to create semicircles. I typically start my inked reflection designs with research on the prompt given. The prompt this week is Cancer. This prompt didn't really require much research since Cancer holds a deeper meaning for me. When most hear the word Cancer, most would think of astrology. I didn't immediately think of a zodiac sign. I thought of cells dividing, of conversations whispered, of lives changed, some ending, some evolving.
Cancer first took my dad, and then it took my mom. And it tried to take my older sister. But she's a true warrior. She made it through.
You're watching me in flow as I sketch the placement of the objects within the design I have in mind. I'm using light and loose marks to position everything in place before I start refining them all. I first started sketching in the face as a box, but now here you can see it starting to take more of a familiar shape. I wanted to portray this figure as more of a cosmic soul than someone that we would be familiar with. Part of the research I conduct when a prompt is dropped is finding reference images. So while drawing this crab, I am looking at a reference image. I'm still looking at my reference image for drawing this crab, which I've included on screen right now. I did add the lower legs, but I'm not sure I'll be drawing them in fully, and you'll see why soon enough. So far, I think it's looking pretty good. Sorry, I ended up sketching the left side of the flowers and vines while I was in flow, so I did not record it. But you get to see the right side. So these flowers and vines are inspired by South Asian mehndi motifs, or you may recognize the term henna. I wanted the feeling of these forces of nature merging with the cosmic soul, as if the soul is still here, but in a different form. Butterflies are often seen as powerful symbols for transformation, hope, and rebirth. So I thought it'd be appropriate to add them in here. I was finding it a challenge to keep the symmetrical balance in the wings of my butterfly, so I chose to use a trapezoid, with the top side being longer than the bottom, to help guide me. Eek! Now we're on to the inking stage. Ugh, the stage always starts off as a nerve-wracking process due to the potential for mistakes. Because of the potential for mistakes, I typically start with the smallest micron fine liner tip that I have and then build up from there with the larger tips. Okay, I'm definitely seeing some quote unquote happy accidents happening while inking these butterflies. I literally just talked about how nerve-wracking inking can be, and now the outline's a little wonky. Okay, but hey, Bob Ross vibes, right? I'm just gonna let it add to the butterfly's character. It actually led me to add some more detail to the wings. It's a part of them now. Imperfect, but, still radiant. Normally, I'd ink the whole cosmic soul in black first, then I'd go back in with a white pen or white paint to add in the galaxy stars. But like the poet Robert Frost said, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. Except mine wasn't a forest path, but more like a creative wave, and I just rode it. So this time I took the one less traveled by. I outlined the stars first, then I filled in the cosmic being. But let me be real. At the beginning, as soon as I pretty much started this, I was already telling myself I had messed up by picking that route. But throughout and by the end, well, how about you tell me? Did it work?
I wanted to imagine a piece that didn't scream Cancer as astrology sign or Cancer as a disease. I imagine this more in like a chemo room on a oncologist's office, a place for grieving, places where you don't want cancer to scream at you, but you still want to feel seen. This piece is in honor of the ones that we lost, for the ones that are still here, and for anyone learning how to carry that weight with still radiating their light. Peace for now.